been a while since you last upgraded your cell phone. You'll be impressed with the next generation of smartphones, especially if you're looking to snap some Insta-worthy pics like we all are. So Winston is here with a roundup. And Winston, in the world of smartphones, each one seems to have a different camera. So what do we need to think about?
Well, Tracy, the phones nowadays all have great cameras in general, but they all have slight variations in it. So back in the day, we used to talk about pixels. How many pixels does a camera have? But nowadays, we don't really talk about that as much. But you do want to think about a few aspects, including how do you plan on using your cameras? Do you plan on just taking photos of your kids, or do you plan on taking, photos of live action sports? So you want to think of things like zoom. How much zoom does your camera have, so that you can catch all of the action that's happening? You also want to think about low light. Different cameras are better at low light photos than others. So you want to think about what sensors are in the cameras so that you do catch all of that low light detail in the pictures. You also want to think about LiDAR. Some of the cameras like this is the iPhone 12 Pro, has LiDAR technology, which is light radar technology that works with apps like Snapchat. So you can really start to unlock a lot of the fun features like filters and be able to build on things like augmented reality. And that's a whole other ball game that's outside of Instagram, but is the future of camera technology and smartphones.
Okay, you're blowing my mind here. So I love that you did a test. You took pictures and did a side-by-side comparison. What did you find?
Well, the first photo I have is of my dog Lola,
Oh,
and I did
cute.
take a picture of Lola. It's pretty similar in the photos. So what you'll find is across all of the phones, you're going to find a lot of similarities in terms of how phones adjust to things like lighting, how backlit your photo is. But the depth of field, which is the kind of blurring effect that happens around your photo subject, that's when you're going to start to notice some differences. In the second picture that I took of the comparison, I took a photo of a still object. It was just a piece of home decor, but I shot it backlit. The wide angle is what you start to really notice when you zoom out. Different phones can zoom out a little more than others. So if you're going to be kind of getting really artistic with your Instagram photos, that's when you want a photo that has a camera rather that has a better wide angle lens.
Okay, and then there's one more photo, right, Winst?
Absolutely. These are the night mode photos. And I talked a little bit about night mode. And this is where you start to take photos in the dark and how adaptive your camera is to low light detailing.
Now, what else should we be thinking about when we're considering buying a new smartphone?
Well, it is the holiday season, and a lot of us do gift these phones, right? So you want to think about a few other things. The first thing, we're seeing the word 5G pop up everywhere now, and it's popping up in major cities and rural communities as well. 5G technology essentially means the speed. It's the next generation technology that allows you to download content a lot faster, and it can accommodate a lot more people on the network as well. So if you're at a concert one day, back in the day, your phone used to get caught up in the traffic and you wouldn't be able to upload or download, well, that will be able to adapt to it. And it really is the future of where cell technology is going. So if you invest in 5G, you're essentially future-proofing your phone. You want to think about battery sizes as well. Different phones have different batteries. I've got everything from the iPhone 12 mini to the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 12 Pro. But on the Android side, I've got the Google Pixel. This is the 4a, as well as the Pixel 5. And all of these have different battery capabilities. So doing your research into how much battery life you want is important. And then lastly, Tracy, you also want to think about pricing. Of course, price affects everybody differently and how much you can spend on a phone. So knowing how much you're willing to spend on a phone and whether you can put that and split those payments up over 24 months is something that you want to also consider. And finally, you want to think about what accessories you have. Do you have a smartwatch? Do you use something like the Apple AirPods Pro? That might also determine what ecosystem you want to use, be it iPhone or Android.
Thank you so much for that information, Winston.